Okay, so need to turn this down a bit. Probably not that much. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to address was everybody knows Petrus, right? And at the beginning of the game, if you go exploring over here, dropping down the elevator shaft, you find this little treasure stash over here. And the stuff that you find in here, you got some homeward bones, but more importantly, you have this stuff, Morningstar and a talisman, which are cleric items. Also, over here, you have some Lloyd's talismans, also cleric items for hunting undead. And then in here, you find some cracked red-eye orbs. Now, everybody always seems to assume that this treasure stash belongs to Petrus, because he's kind of shady, and, you know, he has his whole thing where he kills Rhea, and so everybody's just like, oh, you know, he's a bad man, which he is, but that's beside the point. I don't think that stash is his. Now, here's the thing. I think that if you think about where it is, right? Yeah, okay, Petrus is here, but this stash that we were just at, it overlooks the graveyard, right? And Petrus, he never invades you in the game, so the cracked red-eye orbs are kind of out of place there, to me. And so this overlooks the graveyard, right? But what does the graveyard lead to? Well, it leads to the catacombs. And down in the catacombs, you know, you go through there, and then beyond that you have Tomb of the Giants. And who you encounter down in the catacombs is Paladin Leeroy. Now, if you get Paladin Leeroy's gear, which, let me go load another file that I have more stuff on. I think I have basically all the stuff on this file. If we look at the stuff that he drops, so you have Grant, first of all. Legendary weapon, Way of the White, granted to an undead paladin long ago. Past fire can only be lifted by those within human strength, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you have that, and then also, you have, where is it? There it is, Sanctus. Also, you know, granted to an undead paladin long ago, bless the protection of a white flame. So, these things, you know, they were given to Paladin Leeroy. And I believe also, if you look at, what is it? No, it's not the cleric. Where is his set? I don't remember which set it is. Oh, here we go. Paladin Helm. Okay, so Helm of Leeroy, Paladin of the Catacombs. Long ago, the Way of the White produced its first undead, a paladin in golden armor with the legendary treasures Grant and Sanctus. Leeroy set out for Lordran, land of the gods, in the first undead mission of the Way of the White. Now, later on in the Tomb of the Giants, he invades you as a red spirit. Cracked red orbs. So, I think that stash is his. And basically what happened is, you know, he got sent over here to Lordran by the Way of the White, you know, on the undead mission for kindling or whatnot. But during his travels, and the other thing to note is that he only shows up as a red spirit in Tomb of the Giants after you have acquired the Lord Vessel. So that is interesting too. But anyway, I think that, you know, during his travels here, he encountered Kath, and Kath gave him this whole, you know, the whole spiel about the way things really are, as far as, you know, the undead and everything, and feeling, I guess you might say, betrayed, he starts, like, stalking the catacombs and Tomb of the Giants, and killing other clerics that Way of the White sends. Because the other interesting thing is right near his summon sign in Tomb of the Giants, in the catacombs, right where you find his summon signature before Pinwheel, you also find the preset, right? This is found right below on a ledge on a corpse, and that's interesting. So that's my thoughts on that. That he you know, he went bad, and that's his stuff. And the reason you find those cleric items in there are probably because, you know, he killed other Way of the White members and stashed them there. And I think that just makes a fair bit more sense than it belonging to Petrus, who never invades. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Leave me your thoughts.